Okay, so there's a chat box on the side. We'd like this to be as interactive as possible too. So if you guys have any questions along the way, you could post it in the chat box. And then we'll do like a Q&A at the end if you guys have any questions, okay? So let's start. First of all, I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for getting on this call. I know it's a Sunday and it's Super Bowl Sunday too. So the fact that you're on this call, taking the time out right now to learn about, how to earn this trip is really an indicator of how bad you want it, right? I think that, it's easy to look at a trip like this in the grand scheme of things and automatically put it into your head, especially if you've never earned a trip before. It's easy to just be like, oh, no, that'll never be for me or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, this trip is only going to be as good as you make it. Like if you go into this with a mindset that you can do this, I promise you, and really be consistent with that, I promise you can. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, right? We want you guys to feel confident getting off this call and knowing that you're going to be able to earn an incentive with Scentsy. Okay, so how many of you, raise your hand, have ever earned a Scentsy incentive? Is there anybody on here who ever has? Even if it's just free registration? Yes, I know. Oh, look, we got Nicole Hubbard. She earned level 4 Punta Cana. I know that. Pat Brennan. Good. All right, awesome, you guys. So there's some of you on here who know how awesome Scentsy trips are and stuff like that, right? So Scentsy trips are so amazing. One, right? Like if you've never been on a Scentsy trip before, I remember before I actually went on one, everybody was like, oh my gosh, wait till you go on a trip, wait till you go on a trip. And it's so true what they say, because you make the best connections with, people there. I mean, you guys know Colleen and I are very close, but like we started getting close right before Punta Cana. But then when we went to Punta Cana, it was like, seal the deal. She's my best friend. Now we're best friends for life. And it's just the type of thing where you get to connect with other consultants, and it's just pure vacation. Like you're having fun. You're celebrating all of your achievements that you worked over the past 6 months. And why is my daughter crying outside the door? This always happens. Even though I say, please watch her, right? It's still going to happen. So anyway, sorry if you hear crying. I promise you my husband is outside watching her. Well, he should be at least. So, and now I literally can't think. Matt. Sorry, guys. Literally screaming at my husband on the call because I literally asked him to please watch her, AKA please watch her. So, sorry guys. So anyway, Scentsy trips are awesome. Not only do you get to connect with other consultants, right? They're celebrating your hard-earned achievements over the past 6 months, but you also get treated like royalty on Scentsy trips. They don't just put you up in, these little rinky-dink resorts. Like you're going in like 5-star, all-inclusive. Well, I mean, I don't know exactly for sure where the trip to Mexico is, but Orville inclined, like he gave a little hint that it might be at a certain place in Mexico. So I don't want to say for sure because I don't even know for sure. But if I'm thinking it, that particular place is all inclusive. And that's what it was with Punta Cana as well. So all things are paid and things like that, right? And obviously depending on the level that you earn will determine like, what's all expenses and what's not. But regardless, you're getting treated like royalty. They have food spreads out everywhere. Like it's just ridiculously amazing. So it's well worth all of your hard work that you put into it. Okay, so as of right now, I know Jason Harwood did a video the other day on the Scentsy Family Consultants page, and he said that the trip is January 7th to the 11th of next year of 2019. But no matter what, it's going to be a trip of a lifetime. Okay, so you actually have an opportunity here, you guys, to earn a vacation that you may or may not have be able to take at any other point. I don't know about you guys, but I don't get the opportunity to spend money on vacations that often, right? So sometimes when these things come around and you earn it, you're like, wow. Like coming into this, I know we have these reservations, and I actually just talked about this on my team page yesterday. So for those of you, if this is redundant for you, I'm sorry. But, with a trip, like Scentsy usually has the June trip, right? Like that's the one that we just went through in August to January. Now that they did this, to be quite honest with you, I look at it like immediately inside my head when this was announced. I'm like, first of all, I'm grateful that we have another incentive period. I think it's amazing and so smart that Scentsy did this because it gives us that incentive to push a little bit harder. But automatically, I'm like, oh my gosh, who's going to watch my kids in January? How am I going to go away? Like, I don't understand. Like, this is crazy. Automatically, that stuff goes into my head, right? Before I even earn the trip, who's to say I'm going to have to make that decision? Who's to say I'm even going to earn it, right? So I think it's important to, one, not even put those thoughts in your mind, because when you put those thoughts in your mind, you're automatically making a decision for yourself that you're not going or whatever, when you don't even know what's going to happen in a year, right? So I look at this like, I have these reservations, but that's not going to stop me from at least trying to earn it. Because if I do earn it, I'll then have to make a decision in a year. Do I go to Mexico? Do I not go to Mexico? Right? And I think that at that point, having that leverage to make that decision is going to be so much like more fulfilling to you than sitting here racking your brain wondering if you're even going to go to Mexico before we even start, before you even earn it. So get those thoughts out of your mind right now. You'll worry about a babysitter if you have children at that point. You'll worry about, whether or not you're able to take time off of work or whatever the case is, okay? It's very easy to just automatically put those like blocks in our mind, because those things are going to stop you. It's literally going to stop you, okay? So let's just assume if time, money, childcare, all that stuff was not an option, and you literally put in all your time and effort, you can earn a Scentsy incentive, okay? So let's worry about all that time and all that other stuff afterward. Let's go hard during the next 6 months, and then you can make that decision. Okay. And I'll give you a little hint too. If you do earn it, usually you can like cash out if you can't earn the trip. Let's say you earn the trip, you cash out, Scentsy will give you the cash. Usually, I will say, depending on whatever it is that they're, and I don't know how much it will be that they would give you. So even if you can't earn it, you're still getting something in the end, okay? So let's get that out of our minds right now, okay? Because every single one of you are so capable in earning this trip. And I know that it's very easy to not think that you are, but the fact that you're on this call shows that you want it, right? In one way or another. So really let's, your mindset is really everything, okay? And that's really what's going to determine your persistence over the next 6 months, okay? Because what's going to happen to you guys, I see it time and time again, and even with myself, it happens where the qualification starts, you're good for like the first 1 to 2 months, and then by mid-qualification, you're getting burnt out, or maybe you didn't even start in the beginning and you're only first starting to really pick things up mid-qualification. Now you missed the whole first half. So you really have to be mindful of this the whole 6 months going into it. Okay, but I know that sounds overwhelming, so that's what we're going to talk about here, to break it down month by month. And if you break it down month by month and go into this with a plan, it's going to be much easier to achieve, okay? So for those of you who maybe came close to, earning the cruise or a particular level, let's say you earned a level and you were shooting for like level 2 or 3, but then you were so close and you didn't, or maybe you didn't earn it at all, but you were right there, okay? Use this as a second opportunity. That's what I was telling my team the other day. Like, I know it's easy to be like, oh my gosh, I was so close to that cruise and I didn't earn it, or I was so close to level 1 and I didn't earn it. That's okay. We just got a brand new incentive, you guys. This is amazing. And you know what? Scentsy has incentives every single year, and now twice a year going forward. So that's okay. Use this as a clean slate to go out and try it, 10 times harder than you did last 6 months, all right? I use it as a way to push myself. And even for me, if I earned it, I'm still using it as a new clean slate to do it again, okay? And I also want you guys to know that I'm just like you, Colleen's just like you, Nicole is just like you. Like, we all have these, the same 24 hours in a day. So it really is all determined upon how bad you want it and if you're actually making a plan into doing so, okay? But I guarantee you, if you're consistent and you have the willpower, you will be able to do that, okay? So, I just want to share a video with you guys real quick. I actually just found it. Scentsy didn't come out with an actual video, but I found something. So hold on. I want to share my screen. Just give me 1 second here. Sorry, what's going on here? My computer's being dumb. Okay. Okay, so, oops, why did I open that? Sorry. I want to share this. Okay, so can you guys see this? I'm going to move this little thingy over. This is just a little quick montage of the Mexico trip. Very quick, but I wanted to show you guys that just you know, just to kind of get you pumped up, right? We're earning a trip to Mexico. So excited. I don't know. Has anybody ever been to Mexico before? I've literally never been to Mexico. Okay, so I emailed, if you were on my team or downline, I emailed you the trip earners thing, and I also put it on the team page, and I know that Colleen uploaded it for you guys too in Beantown Accents. So there's a trip earner manual that I have right here. Okay, so this was either emailed to you or it's on a team page. If you have it in front of you, that's great. If not, you can always print it out at a later time, but I want to go over these things. Okay, so this is just something that for you to keep with you over the next 6 months to kind of keep you motivated, stay on track to earning the incentive and being able to really track your progress throughout the next 6 months. Hold on one second. I just realized something. I have to look at something real quick. Where is that thing that I just had? I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna move this here. Let's go over the qualifications. I'll look at the trip manual in just a second. I mean, you have the qualifications in your trip manual. Sorry, apparently I can't multitask. Okay, so if you go to your news tab, it's also here about the incentive. Okay, so from February 1st through July 31st, 2018, you can rack up points to earn an all-expense paid trip to a luxurious resort in Mexico. Travel days are January 7th. Oh, they say the travel days here. So the travel days are January 7th and 11th. So the trip is January 7th to 11th for you and up to one guest. Okay, earn points through sales, sponsoring, personal promotion, sensational start, being paid at title, and more, and to help you with sponsoring efforts. Every consultant who joins in February will receive 1,000 points. Okay, so let's go to our FAQ. Here we go. All right, so actually, you know what? I could pull up the trip manual because it's on there. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on. I'm going to show you in a second. Here, this is what. Okay. Okay, so trip earner manual, right? You got a little couple motivational quotes and stuff to keep you motivated throughout the season, but this is basically what we just read from the news tab, okay? But you can find this information on your news tab. That's pretty much where I got all the stuff in this document is on the workstation. So here's the trip fact, okay? So what are we working towards? We have an all expense paid trip for one, okay? If you earn level 1, you are getting an all-expense paid trip to Mexico for one. So that's hotel, that's flight, that's, ground transportation, whatever, Scentsy covers on there. Usually on the travel days that you have with Scentsy, they'll give you money on your Scentsy debit card. Which is kind of cool because you can even use that towards your baggage fees when you're flying, or you can use it for food or whatever you want. It's pretty awesome. But for level 1, you need 20,000 points, okay? So collectively 20,000 points, and then you need 4,000 points from anything other than personal sales. So this is going to be sponsoring, the people who you're sponsoring, getting paid at title, consistency points, all that stuff that are not your PRV. That's what that other points, other than personal sales points, means, okay? And the more you go through the qualification period, you'll see how easy that is to achieve, okay? So 20,000 points, that basically just means that you can't have 20,000 in PRV points over the next 6 months. And the reason why Scentsy does that is because a lot of times people will bonus buy in their points, toward the end. If they can afford to, they'll just buy their points. And so that's why Scentsy does that, to kind of make it fair for everybody. And then level 2 is all expenses paid incentive trip for consultant and one guest. So for you and a guest, you get the all expenses paid, and that is 24,000 points. So guys, there's only 2 levels, and this is the points are way less than they were for the past 6 months that we were just in for the fall incentive. So this is way easier. I don't want to say easier, but it's less points to achieve, and I honestly think that because we're in the spring and summer, we might have to hustle a little bit harder, this season, but there's not that many points to achieve, and I think that that's why Scentsy did that, okay? So you earn your trip through monthly sales, okay, and building your team. That's pretty much what the consistency pattern is going to be over the next 6 months. It's going to be sales, recruiting, sales, recruiting, sales, recruiting, okay? Now, for those of you who are like, oh my God, I don't know how to recruit, or maybe you don't even have anybody on your team, whatever, that's okay. We're going to come up with a plan and, it's fine. You just have to train yourself. And like, if you feel recruiting's not your strong suit, maybe look into some trainings on sponsoring and stuff like that. Like, there's, you know, it's just something that you just sort of have to do. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to be in doing so. Okay. So your monthly sales. So for every point you earn in PRV, you're going to get 1 point towards your incentive trip. So the nice thing about PRV is that it's literally free points. It's like, you control the amount of PRV that you have each month, and you control the amount of points that you're getting, pretty much. Okay. So the next thing would be building your team. Okay. So you are going to, they must be in your front line for you to receive points on them. And they're going to have to promote to certified. So for every consultant that you sponsor during the qualification period, who certifies during the qualification period, you're going to get 1,000 points per consultant. Okay. So, what? I love you. She's going, Mommy, I love you. So yes, this, so for every consultant who you sponsor during the qualification period, you are going to get 1,000 credits towards your incentive once they certify. Okay. So they have to certify, for the first time during the qualification period of February 1st to July 31st. So as long as they certify from February 1st on, you will get 1,000 credits towards your incentive. Okay. This is another awesome thing here too that they're doing, which is helps honestly tremendous for those consultants that you sponsored before the qualification period. So let's say you have, it says you will earn sponsoring points for reinstated, restored, and roll-up frontline consultants who reach certified for the first time. So if you have somebody on your team who maybe is an essential consultant and they haven't certified yet, if they certify between February 1st and July 31st, you will also get those credits, even though they joined prior to February. Restored and roll up. So let's say you sponsored somebody who then sponsored someone, but then let's say that person went inactive, their team member will roll up to you and now they're your frontline. As long as they certify between February 1st and July 31st, you will also get those credits as well. Okay. So reinstated and roll-ups count also. And that's really awesome, you guys. Like, Scentsy never used to do that. It used to be like they had to join February and then certify on. So that's a huge bonus for us. You're also going to get personal promotion points. Why is she crying at the top of the stairs? Like, I don't get it. Why don't you just take her downstairs? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry. It's just because I was literally telling my husband, like, can you please watch her? Okay. So personal promotions. Okay. The first time you promote to the following titles during the qualification period, you'll earn points for your trip. So let's say you promote during the qualification, you're going to get points based on whatever that title is that you promoted to. Okay, so for those of you who have sponsored people and they're certifying during the qualification, not only are you getting 1,000 credits when they certify, but them too when they promote to certified consultants. So for any of you essential consultants, if you're here on the call, and you promote to certified consultant during the qualification period, you get 1,000 points right away, okay? If you promote up to lead consultant during the qualification period, you get 1,500 points. Promote to star consultant during the qualification period, you get 2,000 points. Superstar consultant, you're getting 3,000 points. Director, you're getting 5,000 points. Star, 8,000. And of course, superstar director, 10,000. Would it be nice if all of us hit superstar director in the next 6 months? Honestly, it's not that likely, but just wanted to run through the points with you guys, okay? So you're also getting paid at title consistency points. So what does that mean? So if you are a lead consultant or above, every month you guys know that we have to make our numbers in order to get paid at our title. So once you promote, that's your new title, and Scentsy will never take that away from you. But if you want to get paid as a lead consultant or you want to get paid as a star consultant, you have to consistently make your numbers every month. So for me, Colleen, Nicole, like, we're directors, right? But at the first of the month, we go back to certified consultant, just like everybody else, right? We all go back to certified consultant at the end of the day once you're certified. So if we want to get paid as a director, we have to make sure that we make our numbers consistently each month in order to get paid, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's basically what paid at title is. So every month that you are paid at your title, you're going to 5 out of 6 months, at the end of those 6 months, you're going to get 2,500 credits. So paid a title entry. So whatever your title is right now, like let's say you promote to, let's say you're a lead consultant or a star consultant. Every month that you're paid at star or you're paid at lead, and it's 5 out of 6 months, then at the end you'll get 2,500 credits, okay? So you can kind of see how the points start to rack up. And to be quite honest with you, those consistency credits are usually the ones that seal the deal in the end. I was just saying this the other day to my team. Sometimes like we're just like a few thousand points shy of earning the incentive, but you know you have those consistency credits coming. So those are beneficial to know that you have those coming. So just make it a point, if you're a lead consultant or above, to get paid at your title every single month. Just make it a point. It's not difficult. And like I said, we can kind of go over that in a little bit. Okay. So just getting paid at your title every month. You'll get those points. You're also going to get your paid at title monthly credits. So this is basically every month that you're paid at your title, you're also going to get points depending on what that title is. So let's say you were paid at the title of lead in February, March, and April, you'd get 300, you'd have 900 months or 900 credits by April. Okay. If that makes sense. So for every single month. So star consultant, you'd get 400 points per month. Superstar consultant, you get 500 points per month, director 800, and so on. I see some questions, so let me just, I just want to see while we're on the, whoops, why did I do that? Hold on, what just happened, guys? Oh, okay, here's the chat, I just pulled it up. Okay, do 5 out of the 6 months have to be consecutive? No, they don't. It could be like, I mean, I personally think you should strive to do consecutive, but it could be like February, March, and then May and June and July, you know, if you happen to skip a month or whatever. But I would definitely strive to, oh, Pat already answered that, sorry. No consecutive. Oops, you guys already answered that. Sorry. Okay, so let me go back and move this over. Okay, so paid at title monthly. Thank you guys for answering that, by the way. So for each month you pay to your title, you get those points. So depending on what the title is that you're paid at, those will be your points per month, okay? Superstar director rank, that's, you know, we don't have to worry about that, but that's if you're paid at title superstar director, you get 5,000 points. So PRV consistency, this one honestly should be very easy for everybody to achieve. If you sell 500 more or more 5 out of 6 months, at the end of the 6 months, you'll get 2,500 credits. So right now, it needs to be a goal for you to at least have 500 PRV every month. That should just be known in your head. I'm having 500 PRV this month. So we're going to talk about this in a second, but you break it down. How do I get 500 PRV in 1 month? I have to get parties. How many parties do I need in my calendar this month? How many people could I talk to about booking parties, right? We're going to kind of go into that in just a bit. But 500 or more PRV, 5 out of 6 months. At the end of the 6 months, you'll get 2,500 credits. And again, no, it does not have to be consecutive, okay? You're also going to get sensational start points, whether you earn sensational start or whether the people you're sponsoring earn sensational start. So consultants who earn sensational start, okay, if you're a new consultant, you come in, your 70th day is between February 1st and July 31st, and you earn levels 1, 2, or 3. These are the credits you get. 1,000 credits for level 1, 2,000 credits for level 2, and 3,000 credits for level 3, which is awesome. So anybody who you sponsor, so the sponsors of consultants who earn it. So if you have a consultant who comes in, their 70th day is between a qualification period, and they earn one of these levels, you will also get points as well. So you will get 500 credits if they hit level 1. You'll get credits for hitting level 2, 1,000 credits for 2, and 2,000 credits for level 3. So what do you have to do, right? You, as a sponsor, need to make sure you're setting up your consultants with their launch parties, helping them not only hit their shooting star, right, selling 500, but also getting them certified to help them, because when they hit certified, it's also going to give them 1,000 credits, right? And also staying on track to hitting sensational start. All right, so I put all of those notes in here, which we're going to go through, but that's why it's important to make sure you're getting your new consultants set up throughout the next 6 months, okay? And then here they have the February join promo. So any new consultant who joins in February, and once they close their qualifying party, they're going to receive 1,000 points once they close their first qualifying party. So they have to join. Look here, consultants who join between midnight February 1st and February 28th will receive 1,000 points once they place their party order. So as long as their join date is between those 2 dates in February, And then they close their party out, their first party, they're going to hit 1,000 points. So that's a really great incentive right now, you guys, to talk to new consultants or people who are thinking about joining, how they can also immediately come into this and have 1,000 credits toward earning a new trip with Scentsy, right? So these are just some facts. It just kind of tells you how to calculate points and such. What just happened here? Let me see. So does the party they close does not have to be during the month of February? Well, I would say it would be, just like when they join, you want to make sure that they're getting them to do their party right away. But let's say they joined February 28th. Yes, Scentsy will still give it to them. But their join date has to be between February 1st and the 31st as well, okay? Okay, so that's pretty much the qualifications, okay? This is just kind of explaining some facts like how the paid-up titles are calculated or whatever. But those are the qualifications, okay? So let's move down here. So this is just saying all expenses paid trip for consultant. If you choose not to go on the trip, you can use it for Scentsy Family Reunion of 2019 also, okay, for you and a guest. And then these are just some facts. I'm not going to go into all the facts right now, but if you have questions here, it'll explain things like that with the facts. Okay, so moving on. So now this is the tracker. I actually created this tracker the other day. I know you guys have it. Scentsy had one very similar last qualification period, and so I just kind of replicated it because I didn't want to wait for them to make it, because I think last time they took like 2 months, and I was like, no, I need a tracker right now. So this is pretty much the tracker. So up here, you have your projected business accomplishments. So you're basically your goals of what you think you're going to hit for having your personalized trip plan. So depending on what your title is right now, and depending on your personal goals that you want to reach in order to earn an incentive, that's what you're going to fill up here. And I'll show you in a second how I did that. And then down at the bottom is where you're going to put what you actually had. So if you had a goal to sell 2,000 PRV in February, but you only sold 1,500, that's what you would put the actual here, okay? So let me pull up my trip plan. Actually, before I do that, last qualification period, Jennifer Anderson, let me see. If I go to my group, guys, hang on one second. Jennifer Anderson actually came out with an amazing trip plan last qualification period for every title, from certified consultant up to director. And it was awesome. And the reason why I'm showing it to you now is because we pretty much have the same qualifications as last incentive. And so you could probably use this as a guide, but I will ask her if she's going to be creating a new trip plan. So I'll show you what I mean. And I'd be more than happy, if it's not on Beantown Accents, I can post them on there for you guys too. This right here. So these were the trip plans that she came up with last qualification. So if you're a brand new consultant, she kind of gives you a breakdown. And like I said, I'll share these images if you're having trouble coming up with your own trip plan based on your title. But these are pretty much like she breaks it down how to do it, okay? But like I said, our qualifications now are pretty much neck and neck with what they were for the fall. So I'm most positive that these trip points might work depending on the total points here, okay? But again, I will make sure to ask her if she's going to do that again. If not, I'm sure you could sit down with me or Colleen or Nicole, and we can help you come up with your own trip plan as well, okay? So this, I just took a screenshot of what my projected plans are, because for me personally, I want to go for level 2. I want to earn for me and my husband, okay? If you sit here and tell yourself, oh, I don't know if I'd hit level 2, then you're probably not going to hit level 2. Go big or go home, because if you try harder and then you end up not hitting that, you're more than likely to at least hit level 1. Okay, but if you
just say something real quick.
Yes, please.
Thank you. So guys, you know, when we talk about like promotion points and what you need to promote, right? Sorry, I'm looking over here, but this is where the screen is, so I look like I'm not looking. But so you know what you need to promote, you know, what your PRV needs to be, what your GWV needs to be as far as points go, you know, to kind of stay on track. This is minimum, okay? Like, understand that minimum, right, is just about gonna get you there, but you never know. Give yourself some cushion, because what if you don't hit, you know, a certain amount the next month? Well, you have that cushion from the month before, right? So always strive to get more. Like if you hit 500 PRV, don't be like, all right, I got my 500 in for the month. I'm good. Let me like sit back. Like keep going, you guys. All right. This is the mentality you have to run a business. Like this isn't like, we're not working at McDonald's, you guys. Like this is your business. And if you do work at McDonald's, I'm not saying anything about it, but I'm just saying like, this is your business. Your name is attached to this. Like this is you and you know, what you can have in your life. So don't just settle for bare minimum, like push it for more. All right. I just wanted to say that because you'll go further quicker if you push for more, not just settling for bare minimum. Okay.
Exactly. And when you push for more, you know, and you kind of go a little higher than when you thought you would, then it's almost feeds your confidence even more. And then you're like, oh, okay, that wasn't so hard. I could do that again. So actually, for those of you who did earn it, right, I know like I've spoke to a lot of girls on my team where they either earned the incentive or they came so much closer than they ever have before. And even that in itself is a boost of confidence because you're like, oh, wow, I never even know like that I could do better than I did before. So always push higher. And that way you have, like Colleen said, the cushion. So for me, this is a personal trip plan for me personally based on my title. Okay. Now I know that, you know, we're all different titles here. So of course, depending on like the paid at title points and things like that, you know, you'd have to determine what the points are for you and your title, but this is for me. But I just wanted to show you guys this just to give you an example of like how I plan out my incentives. Okay. So just to let you guys know too, I've earned every incentive that since joining Scentsy, I've made it a point to earn it. And I also earned the Disney trip coming into this as a brand new consultant. I joined 3 months into the qualification period. I was already halfway through and I earned Disney just coming into this. Okay, so it is possible. You absolutely can do it. You just have to have a plan in mind. So this is the projected. Okay, so for me personally, I want to shoot for 2,000 PRV every single month during the qualification period. Why? Because 2,000 the PRV points are going to be, you know, the bulk of your trip points that you get throughout the next 6 months. So I know I can control the PRV I have, right? I mean, of course, we have things happen where things cancel or whatever, but for the most part, I set a goal for myself. During the fall, honestly, I shoot for at least 2,500 as a minimum to go for. So I'm saying 2,000 PRV. Now, we are going to be during the spring and summer during this qualification period. So that's why when I was saying a little bit earlier, I think we're going to have to hustle a little bit harder this season. But again, the total credits are not going to be as high to reach. So for me personally, I want to shoot for 2,000 PRV. Not only am I getting 2,000 credits each month, but once you hit 2,000 PRV, you're then getting a 5% pay increase that month too when you're making 30%. 2,000 PRV, you guys, is a $600 paycheck. What could you do with $600 a month over the next 6 months, right? You could probably save up or even use it, obviously, for, you know, your family and all that other stuff. But like $600 a month, you could even save up and then go to reunion with that. You know, like it's such an incentive aside from earning the incentive, but that's why I strive to have $2,000 each month because you're getting that 5% bonus anyway. So my goal is to have 2,000 out of all these months. So if I have 2,000 over the next 6 months, I'm going to have 12,000 credits by the end of it, right? Which is almost a little bit less than half of what I need. And then my consistency. So PRV consistency. So 500 or more PRV 5 out of 6 months, like I said, you're going to get those consistency points. You'll get 2,500 credits at the end of the month, at the end of the qualification period. So automatically, you guys, even though your goal is 2,000, it should already be in your head. I'm earning that 500. That's it. I'm putting it up there and I'm having 500 5 out of 6 months because I want those consistency credits. If you don't have 5 out of 6 months, at least 500 PRV, you will not get the consistency credits. And remember when I said consistency credits are usually the ones that seal the deal in the end. So make sure you're making it a point to have at least 500 PRV. But I have to be very honest with you guys. If you want to earn level 1 or even level 2, like 500 PRV a month, honestly, in my opinion, is not going to cut it. It has to be, in my opinion, like if you want to trust my advice, and like I said, I've earned every incentive, you have to shoot for at least 2,000 PRV. And it can be done, you guys. I know it might seem way far off for those of you who have maybe never hit 2,000 PRV, but you do that through parties, which is what we're going to talk about in a second. and making a plan each month on how to consistently get 2,000 PRV in your schedule. It's not hard, but you have to be a little bit strategic, okay? So we'll talk about that in just a sec. So for my frontline certified, I'm going in with the assumption that I'm going to have at least 6 people join over the next 6 months, okay? And getting them to certified. So that's just a personal goal for me. Of course, whatever works for you. And this will change too, depending on how many people you are sponsoring. So my goal is to have 1 person a month certified. So if I'm continually having the conversation with people, continually getting people to join, if all things go right, obviously, right? And continually helping them reach certified. So that's my projected goal for the people that I'm sponsoring. If I do that, I'll end up with 6,000 credits at the end of the qualification period. Personal promotion, I'll tell you why I didn't fill this out, because I don't ever base my trip plan if I'm going to promote. Because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to promote. I mean, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't reach for it or have it as a goal, but if you base it on the fact that you're promoting and you're getting those personal promotion points and then you don't promote, you're going to be short a lot of credits, okay? So I would totally do your trip plan as if you didn't promote. Or you could even do 2. You could do a trip plan where as if you did promote, and then you could do a trip plan as if you didn't promote, you know, and have that comparison. But I don't fill this out just because I cannot guarantee that I'm promoting, even though I make it a mission. I can't guarantee that. So I'm not basing my points off that. And then my personal monthly paid at title for director, I'm getting $800 a month. So depending on whatever your title is and you're getting paid at your title monthly, that's the points that you would end up with. And then the consistency. So for me, paid at title director, 5 out of 6 months. I'd end up with 2,500 credits at the end. Again, those consistency points. So depending on whatever your title is, I mean, you still get 2,500. So just make that a point, paid at title, 5 out of 6 months. And then frontline sensational start, again, it's the type of thing where you can't really control, you know, someone certifying or someone hitting sensational start. You could do everything you can as their sponsor to guide them and make sure that they're doing it, but we cannot control other people's actions. So as a goal, I'm doing the bare minimum. I'm assuming that every single consultant that hits my team is going to have at least sensational start level 1. I'm going to make sure I help them in getting on track to earning it, setting them up, make sure that they know how to hit their new consultant goals, and hopefully getting each one to at least level 1. Now, of course, if they hit level 2 and on, that would be great, but my goal is to at least help them get to level 1. So I'm lowballing it, okay? And by doing that, at the end, I'd have 3,000 credits for there. So just these credits alone, you could see I've already hit over 24,000, which is what the qualifications are for level 2. I have 30,000 here. Now, this will give you some leeway too. So let's say, you know, you can kind of buffer these things. Let's say you didn't have 2,000 PRV in February. Let's say you only had 1,000 PRV, but then you ended up getting an extra person who joined your team that month, and they hit 1,000. You can kind of buffer, if that makes sense. This is just a guideline, but if you don't do that, like let's say you sold, you know, I don't know, 1,000 PRV in February. So, you know, you kind of have to either make that PRV up over the next 6 months, maybe adjust your goals a little bit, or, you know, sponsor more people, or vice versa. You know, your trip plan, you'll see it'll kind of change over the next 6 months too. It's you know, because each month that goes by, you may not be on track, or maybe you'll be over your goals. And so you can kind of like change it up here and there. Okay. So if you guys have any questions about your trip plan, you know, throughout the next 6 months, please talk to, you know, your director, myself, Colleen, Nicole, because we'd be more than happy to help you guys like tweak it or whatever it is, you know, as you go along. But it's important to really have a goal as to how you're going to do this, okay? Have it laid out. So that's the top part. And then the bottom part, this is, like I said, you would put what you actually ended up with here, okay? And this is going to help you on staying on track and letting you know where you need to tweak it. Okay, so does anybody have any quick questions on the trip plan? Nicole says, when I earned Punta Cana, I made 2. Yes, I remember when you did that. 1 if I did promote, and 1 is if I didn't. If you have a goal promotion, I would absolutely make 2. Yes, exactly. So it's not to say that you're like you shouldn't have a goal to promote. You definitely should, like as a personal goal. But I love the idea of making 2 trip plans so that at least you can kind of push for one or the other. Okay. Okay. So believe in yourself a little more. Woohoo! Yep, that's why those little quotes are there. Okay, so the reason why I put the compensation plan is because guys, if you want to get paid at your title, if you want to promote, if you want to help others in promoting, help others, if you want to recruit and teach new consultants how to make the most of this business, you have to understand the compensation plan, okay? I know I have personally done thorough trainings on the compensation plan. I'm sure, you know, Colleen and Nicole have. If not, there's tons of trainings on YouTube. If you even just search it on your team pages, I'm sure something will come up. But you have to understand how the compensation plan works. So I don't want to go into a too in-depth thing about this, but the reason why I put this here is so that you can understand how it works, so that you're getting paid at title, you are helping your new consultants join on and, you know, understand the compensation plan. Because the thing is, if you don't know how the compensation plan works, you have no idea how to promote, because you don't know the goal that you're shooting for. Like, if you're just going into it blindly, like, how do you know to get to lead consultant if you don't even know what the qualifications are in order to getting to lead consultant? So it's very important that you understand how this works. If you do not understand, please talk to your director or your sponsor, and you know, so that we could actually sit and go over with you guys how to actually understand it. Or like I said, look up the trainings on YouTube or your team pages. But it's very important for you to understand this. And I would suggest, as you have new consultants come on, when you're training them, you go over the compensation plan with them so that they understand. It's very simple. 1,000 PRV, they're certified. Next thing they need are, you know, these are the monthly responsibilities up here that they would need in 1 month in order to promote to that. And then these are the percentages that they would get paid in 1 month, depending on what their title is or what their downline's title is, okay? So I just put that in there for reference, but again, it's good for you to understand that. The sensational start. So this is actually from the shooting star document on your workstation on the business references tab. I pulled out the sensational start because this has the qualifications here. So again, you're getting sensational start points for the people who you sponsor, and they're getting points when they hit sensational start. So it's very beneficial for both them and you to understand how sensational start works, okay? If you don't understand how sensational start works, how can you train your new consultants into helping them reach that if they don't know it? They're not going to know it unless you know it. So you have to be able to feel confident in training them, okay? So sensational start level 1, I'll just run it through it real quickly. They need to sell at least 1,500 PRV alone, or 500 PRV and one person who reaches 200 in sales, so they're active, during their sensational start. So as long as their sensational start day is during the qualification period and they hit that, they will get those credits and you will get those credits as well. And not only that, they're also getting, when they hit that, they're going to get their $50 product credit, they're going to get their pin, their warmer, depending on what level that they choose, whatever, or not choose, depending on what level they earn. They're not only going to get the points, but they're also getting these, $125 product credit, $225 product credit. Like, it's very important that you are making sure your new consultants understand what these qualifications are, okay? Sensational start level 2, they need to sell at least 3,000 or 1,500 PRV and one person who's active. And then level 3 would be 6,000 PRV or 3,000 PRV and 2 people who are active that join their team, okay? So again, it's very important that you understand how this works. And you know what? Like, you don't have to memorize these things. This is why these documents are here in your workstation, so that you can refer when you're training your consultants and you pull up this document and you go over it with them. You don't need to know it all, you guys. You have resources right here. All you have to do is show them, okay? So that's sensational start. Again, I put that in there as a guide for you so that you know these are the goals that you're trying to hit or they are trying to hit. And then here, so this is where it comes down to earning your PRV, meeting people to sponsor. All comes down to you working your business consistently every month for the next 6 months, okay? And in doing so, not only are you working towards your incentive, you guys, not only are you working towards earning a trip for you and a guest, but you are also going to be building your business by doing so. These trips are made to help you grow and build your business. So if you're sitting here and you're wondering why your business feels stuck, or you're not feeling like you're getting anywhere, or maybe you're a new consultant and you just feel like you just can't get over the hump just yet, these trips will actually help you in building your business, okay? So some ideas that you can do. In February, hold a last chance first glance party, right? So everything that's being discontinued this month, your customers need to see this. Whether you do this in person, whether you do it on Facebook, your customers need to know the discontinued items. Okay, so you can find the discontinued items list on your marketing tab. We also have a 10% off sale this month, so make sure you're letting all your customers know about the 10% off sale that's going. And then you can also give them a sneak peek of the new spring stuff. For those of you who went to World Tour and you have all those testers, there's also the new season sales kits that are coming out this month, you guys. So that new season sales kit is an awesome investment into your business. Not only will you be able to throw first glance, last chance first glance parties, open houses, all those types of things, but you're also getting, when you purchase those kits, I would highly suggest doing it if you can splurge on it this month, because it's an investment. So you're getting the commission on it, but you're the PRV, right? But you're also getting the points too. So I would just think about some of those things. And then when you have those kits, you'll be able to do last chance, first glance parties, show your customers those things. Okay. And that way you could collect pre-orders for the spring stuff and have instant PRV come in March. Okay. You could do a spring catalog release party. So in March, when the new spring catalog comes out, I usually do a new catalog release party, right? It's kind of like a home launch party. You are your own business owner. If you can't get parties booked, you have to understand how to book your own, do a party for yourself. Have it at your house, do an open house, do a last chance, first glance, a mystery hostess party, whatever. There's nothing saying that you can't have your own parties as often as you want. Okay, so one big one that I like to do is the catalog release party. It's a new time to invite them over to celebrate the new spring catalog. It gets your customers excited for the upcoming season. You could have samples out and stuff for your customers. It's a great way for you to try and get some PRV is through a spring catalog release party, or just, parties on your own in general. If you're a new consultant and you haven't had a launch party yet, it's time to have your launch party, a home launch party. Okay. Create a 6-month Hostess of the Month club. So this is something that I did last year. It's kind of cool because it is guaranteed PRV each month for 6 months. So basically what you do is you find 6 people who will commit to $35 payment a month for 6 months. So these will be good for like your very best customers, the people who are always buying Scentsy from you. And then basically what you do is you let them choose the month that they want to be the hostess. So every month when someone purchases their $35 payment, they're going to purchase it on a party link that you create. And whoever that hostess is for that month gets those rewards, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's pretty much how it's very simple, but you just basically have 6 people. I mean, you could have six parties going. So if you have, or not 6, you could have multiple Hostess of the Month club. So let's say you have a 6-month Hostess of the Month club. You got 6 people in there. 35 times 6, that's a 210 PRV in 1 month, okay? 210 PRV over the next 6 months. That's one club. Imagine if you had 2-3 clubs going with each club has 6 women in it. So that's 2, 4. Let's say you had 3 clubs going. You could have an additional 600 PRV each month for 6 months. You know what I mean? So it will take a bit of hustle and you asking your customers if they want to be a part of this Hostess of the Month club that you're doing. Also remember, it is a personal special, so just don't advertise things like that publicly, but you can absolutely, do that for your customers. The month that I had my customers be the host, like they were the hostess of the month, I'd also send them extra goodies. I'd give them a scent of the month bar. So the warm of the month kit, I'd invest in that every month and I'd give them one of those bars as their present for being the hostess of the month. Lots of ideas. There's also lots of ideas on Hostess of the Month clubs on YouTube too, if you need some more clarification on it, okay? Another thing that I like to do is offer my new consultants an incentive. So for anybody who joins with me, I do this regardless if I'm in an incentive period or not. If they hit certified within their first 30 days of enrollment, I give them a free set of mini testers from the Scentsy Family Store. So more than likely, if they're hitting certified in their first 30 days, they're probably hitting their shooting star. Every time you have someone on your team who hits shooting star, you get $25 product credit from Scentsy. So I take that product credit and I invest it back into my business and I buy them a free set of mini testers, which is usually about $25, a transition set. But that'll give them the incentive to also get certified too, okay? So then the next thing is create a list. Now this seems maybe a little crazy for you guys, right? Like I know people look at this and they're like, oh, 60 people. I say create a list of 60 potential recruits over the next 6 months, okay? Don't be scared. I know that 60 is a big number, but again, we're talking about breaking it down. It's 10 people a month. Who can you think of that you can share this business opportunity with? 10 people per month, okay? I could think of 10 people right off the bat that I could talk to this month about joining because we have an awesome special. We have a trip to earn. There's lots of great incentives for them to start with the new catalog. 10 people a month, okay? If you do that over the next 6 months, 10 people a month, you'd have 60 potential recruits, okay? They say that 1 out of every 10 people say yes. Now, of course, this is a type of thing, recruiting, that just takes time, and obviously it's not guaranteed that they're gonna join, but if you're not having these conversations with people, then they're never gonna join. They're never gonna know. You have to make sure that you are having conversations. So you cannot control whether they join your team or not, but you can control the amount of conversations that you're having with people, okay? So $49 join special we got this month, you guys. We have also the enhanced starter kit that they can choose from as well for the $99. You know, we have the catalog sale. There's just such a great incentive. The trip itself and them earning 1,000 credits when they close out their first party. So many great incentives for new consultants this particular month and into the next season. You're literally doing people a disservice if you're not sharing this business opportunity with everyone. So who cares if they say no? You know, do you want to say something, Colleen?
Yes, please. Okay, so I joined in May 2016, right? And the incentive was that August 1st, and I earned level 4, right? For my husband, Mark, and I to go for free to Punta Cana. And one of the big things, because I knew, number one, when I joined Scentsy, I knew that I wanted to like be at the top. Like I was like, if I'm going to do direct sales, I'm going to go guns blazing, and I am going like for the gusto here. Like I'm doing it, right? So one of the big things I knew, you guys, and you should know by now, unless you're an essential consultant, right, or certified, and you're just kind of getting your feet wet, sponsoring, recruiting, and building is the answer to everything in your business, right? And I needed to start building right away. So what did I do is I flipped a lot of my hosts, okay? Host flipping is the jam. I'm telling you guys, they already like Scentsy, okay? And you should be given, like, I want you to know that recruiting, I know recruiting is like this big taboo thing with you guys, right? I'm telling you, the more you do it, it has to be, there's no secret ingredient. It has to be something that you just do. And then you start working through it and you figure out what you want to say. It flows off your tongue, right? But recruiting doesn't have to be this big, bad, serious conversation. Like, let's sit down and like be serious. You can give your host like a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, hey, I think you'd be really good at this. Like, look at you. Look at all these people that are coming. When you're host coaching, talk to them, feed them confidence about how good they're doing just as a host, right? So then when it comes down to the party, when they see all of the rewards that they have, when they see how much money, you need to show them how much money they'd make off that party, right? You need to be able to approach them about that. And before you actually, approach them with the actual amount of the party and all the orders they get, make sure that you're feeding them confidence and giving them a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, again, it doesn't have to be like, let's sit down and talk about this joint opportunity. Because that seems really stuffy and like, it seems like so serious and nobody wants that, right? They feel like, oh, this is a big commitment. It's not. You guys know, like anybody can do this, right? So feed them confidence. Host flipping, I know you're like, oh, well, this person's my best customer, but I'm telling you, you will get paid for that month, or you sponsor somebody and you can get paid for it over and over and over again. And that one person could change your business.
Right.
Okay. That person could grow an insane amount of people on their team and change your business. All right. So the way that I earned my first trip, right, is I was sponsoring left and right. I was host flipping left and right. And another big thing that I did, sorry guys, chaos in my house. Another big thing, I'm like, don't feel bad, Patty. My computer's been muted for the past hour, so you didn't hear what was going on over here. But home parties, you guys, home parties. Declan, I'm on the phone. You've got to stop. Sorry. Nope, you can't tell me anything right now. So the home parties, right? You guys, home parties are where you are going to meet more people. So if you're meeting new people, you're meeting more potential hosts. You're meeting new potential recruits, and you are booking more parties. My objective for every single home party is to get PRV, book more parties, and show people how awesome and easy it is to do what I do at a home party. All right. So guys, please remember, I know that it's easy to want to do online parties, but you could get maybe 200 PRV, maybe. with an online party. And I know it's easy because you're at home and you could do like a million different things, but I'm telling you, 2 to 3 hours going to a home party to get 500 to 1,000 PRV to meet new people, book more parties is worth your time. Trust me. All right. I'm not lying. I have your best interest, every single one of you.
And it's also going to end up being the, less time on your part if you just do wham bam thank you bam 2 to 3 hours like Colleen said in a home party versus you setting up an event on Facebook, coaching the hostess, hey, did you invite your people? And she didn't invite her people, and it's like there's all this time and effort that you're wasting in your business when you could literally have one awesome home party. And I'm telling you guys, like, maybe through the spring and summer, I don't know. It will really depend on how many guests are actually at the party. But that's why with the one tip that I have with home parties is just make sure that you tell your hostess to over-invite and have as many people as there. Because you could literally hit 2,000 PRV in one home party, okay? I mean, provided the right amount of guests are there. So I always tell my guests, my hostess, try to shoot for at least 10 attending guests at a home party. But there's so much less work. And wouldn't it feel better to be able to do 1 or 2 home parties a month and be able to hit your monthly 2,000 PRV goal instead of like all these Facebook parties that you're literally getting no interaction on, no PRV, no connection with anybody? Like, it's, the proof is in the pudding when it comes to home parties and stuff. But are you finished on your thought? I just wanted to break it down because we're running on time. So I just wanted to
one more thing, right, really quick, is that I get 500 to 1,000 PRV every single month in follow-up orders, you guys. Follow-up is not a joke, right? And follow-up is actually showing your customers and your audience that you're serious about your business, okay? You're not going to be annoying anybody by following up with them. And do you know that sometimes it takes 7 times of asking somebody to book a party, join, or follow up before they do actually any of those things, 7 times. But you got to keep doing it. And if you start following up with your customers consistently, that is like mindless, effortless money, you guys. All right. Don't overlook that. And it's actually easier. It's not an extra step that's going to complicate and take up all this time in your business. 500 to 1,000 PRV every single month I get, you guys. It's not a joke. Okay. So start getting these things in place for yourself. That's all.
Okay. So let me just go back real quick to the 60 recruits over the next 6 months. Like I said, I know it sounds crazy, but if you just come up with a list of 10 people per month, by the end of it, you would have had 60 conversations with people. Isn't that crazy? So don't overcomplicate it, like Colleen was saying, especially with like your host that you have. Like, literally try and offer the business opportunity to everyone. What is the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no. Okay. So many times I'll just be like, I'll just plant. That's the thing. You're just planting a seed. You're getting the conversation rolling. You're putting the idea in their head to start that topic. And whether they say no or not, it's literally you being like, hey girl, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Like, you would be so awesome at this. Anybody who you have in mind, who you think could use the business opportunity, who might have fun or who might be freaking awesome at it. Like, maybe they have a really outgoing personality and they just seem to rock it. Don't be afraid to talk to those people. Those, conversations that you're having with people, if you're not talking about it, I can guarantee you there's so many people in your network who see you posting about Scentsy all the time and they probably have questioned it, but they're doubting themselves. So all it might take is you literally just telling them, hey girl, have you ever thought about this? Like, I think you'd be really awesome at it, right? So anyway, otherwise it's going to turn into a whole conversation on sponsoring and booking parties and all that. And that's really not what this is about. But it's just to let you guys know that you have to be having these conversations, because I guarantee you recruiting is the type of thing that takes time. So if you are not having conversations with people now, like, you have to be having the conversation with them now in order for them to join in April, May, June. Like, it's not something, very seldom does it happen where you talk to somebody about joining and then they're like, yeah, I want to join right now. So it's something that takes up. So start having those conversations now. Come up with your list, 10 people a month, and literally all you have to do. I mean, did you guys see, if you're on Wickless Luster, the post that Kristen put up the other day where she sent a screenshot of like the starter kit to her customer, and all she said was, I'm just saying, I think you should join this month. That's it. Like, I know it sounds silly, but like, sometimes, especially with the people who you feel comfortable with and like, that's all it takes is hey girl, I'm just saying, like, this is an awesome deal. Like, you should totally join this month. You know, like sometimes that's all that it takes. And sometimes, they may not join, but putting the idea in their head. And it might turn out, you might surprise yourself where they're like, hey, well, you know what? I've actually thought about it. $49 isn't such a bad deal. You know, I'll think about it or whatever. But if you're not putting it out there, if you're not actually talking about the business opportunity with people, you're going to have a way less harder time of people actually wanting to join. Okay, so don't be afraid. The next thing that I have too, so this works well over the fall and winter, like very easy, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it over the spring and summer. I say to get 6 vendor events over the next 6 months. So 1 vendor event a month you can try and get on. There's lots of, the spring and summer is also a good time for like outdoor events and things like that. Go on Facebook. Facebook has tons of groups and stuff that you can search. Like for me, I'm on Long Island, it's like Long Island vendor events and stuff like that. So probably just search your area, vendor events on Facebook. And I guarantee you there will be things that come up because these people will post like events that they're having and they'll say, looking for vendors for such and such date. And you can then sign up for it if the price is right. I mean, honestly, I pay probably like $50 to $60 max for a table. I'm talking like local small events in your area that you can sign up for. Okay, you don't need a lot of stock if you're a newer consultant. I do plenty of events, little to no stock. I have people place orders, but events strictly are way to meet people. It's not about the PRV that you're getting. If you get PRV, that's great, but it's really about just meeting people at events. Okay, so at your events, you can see here, I say, have a drawing slip box for them, you know, to collect information and contact. You guys, these are all drawing slips that I did over the fall and winter of people that I met that I could literally follow up with, okay? Now, I was doing a lot of events in the fall and winter, but it's a great way to meet people. And if I didn't do those events, I wouldn't know all these people. There's probably about 50 to 60 slips here, okay, of people who I can follow up with. So do events. Try and just have a goal of at least 1 a month, okay? Especially if you find you can't get home parties booked. That's what I do sometimes. If I just find nobody wants to do any home parties, because my goal is always to have at least 1 to 2 on my calendar. But if I find nobody's doing any home parties, I'll just try and get an event booked in that place, okay? Because it's still time out of your house the way a home party would be, but at least you're replacing it, okay? So make it your mission to have something on your calendar. The 50-10 rule. So this is actually a really good idea. It's where you make 50 samples in the beginning of the month and 10 opportunity packets, and then put it by your door and have a goal until all 50 are passed out. Now, that doesn't mean just go out on the street and start passing things out. I mean, you could do that, but you don't really know those people. You don't have their contact information. Anybody who you're having conversations with, people in your social media network, Facebook, the home parties that you're doing, the events that you're doing. Maybe it's somebody that a friend referred you to because they needed a Scentsy lady. Whoever these people are, somebody who wants a sample, whatever, new customers. That's your goal, to get those out at the end of each month. And if you do that every single month, if you passed out 10 opportunity packets at the end of the month, you'd reach your 60 recruits in 6 months goal of the sponsoring conversations that you have. Because if you're having those conversations with them, you should be sending them information. So if you don't know what an opportunity packet is, I've done plenty on my team page. I think Colleen and Nicole have as well, or you can go on YouTube and look up what to put in your opportunity packets. But it's basically just information about Scentsy. I am a firm believer when someone's interested in joining, I send them information about Scentsy and a sample, and usually a scent circle, but like that depends on the situation. But for the most part, we say it's the smell that sells, and they need that that tangible like information in front of them to kind of like remind them about it. Okay, so case in point, I've been talking to a girl about joining over the past like week or two or whatever. She's been kind of like, I don't really know, but then I sent her information. She got it, immediately texted me and said, oh my god, I got this information, I love this scent so much, like I'm totally gonna talk to my husband because I know it's $49 this month, because she got the information. So make sure you guys are sending out opportunity packets, okay? Like I said, just set a goal for yourself. 50 samples, 10 opportunity packets, done at the end of the month. Next thing is to update your list of 100, and I added that in here. Now, your list of 100, honestly, it could be very overwhelming to come up with 100 people, but I say, again, break it down month by month. Who are the people that you're meeting? Be willing to be talking to new people all the time. So the people at your events, your parties that you're meeting, all that stuff, you can always be adding them. Go through your Facebook friends list, honestly, who you have right now, maybe people in your phone that you haven't checked your phone contacts in a long time, and see how they could be an asset to either buying from you, hosting, or joining, okay? And like I said, whether you're sending them a sample or whether you're having an opportunity conversation with them, it's very important that you're updating your list of 100. I'll be honest with you guys, my potential recruit list that I've had going for probably the past 2 freaking years, I think I've had about 40 to 50 people on there. And I literally the other day said to myself, I need to revamp this. Like, these people are clearly not wanting to join. Like, why am I sitting here? Not that I'm wasting my time. I still keep them on the back burner, you know, when they're ready, but I need to revamp and meet new people and refresh. So I took that paper, I like put it to the side, I ripped it up, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to create a new list of people. And guess what? I sent out 6 opportunity packets just the other day because I had 6 brand new conversations with people who are literally ready to join. So you have to like refresh that every now and then, okay?
Guys, really quick. Sorry, Patty. On your Facebook page, you know, I go off of that a lot of my audience, my friends, and I'm literally friends with so many Scentsy people now. It's absolutely crazy. So if I have 20 minutes to scroll through Facebook, I have to get through hordes of Scentsy people, and that's not helping my business. So I recently went on my computer, not my phone. It won't work from your phone. Go onto your computer and make a list of your friends, okay? And then put all of your customers and your prospects on that new dream team list on one list. So when you get on Facebook, you can click on that list and see what they're doing, because you need to see what your prospects and your customers doing to engage with them. Because if you're not interacting with some people on your friends list, you're not seeing what they're doing at all. They're not even showing up on your Facebook. So you need to start interacting and engaging with your customers and with your prospects. So make a list and hone in on those people before you go on Facebook and interact with your friends and your Scentsy friends and all of that stuff. You need to see what they are doing, okay? Because they're only going to buy, host, or join if they know, like, or trust you. And how is that going to happen if you're not even reaching out, connecting, or, you know, interacting with them?
Exactly. Like, you have to build, like, recruiting is just the type of thing that it's a relationship building process. So you have to just make sure in these conversations, like Colleen said, if you have nothing established there yet, and then you go and talk to somebody about joining Scentsy, it's going to come up very salesy. So just start building those relationships as you can over the next 6 months using your list of 100. I also have hold a booking blitz. So if you're a leader, okay, you don't have to be a director to hold a booking blitz. You could have a booking blitz with your team. You could say, hey guys, we're going to, do a challenge right now, 20 minutes of booking. Even if you don't have a team, guys, hold yourself accountable to a 20-minute booking blitz in yourself. I say this all the time. I have a timer, a literal timer here. When I come up here and I do my follow-up or I'm booking, I will set it 20 minutes and I will turn off my distractions, turn off Facebook, and I literally sit here and I do robot status when it comes to following up. And I go down and I'm like, hey girl, want to host a party? Boom. Hey girl, want to host a party? Boom. Hey girl, want to host a party? And I don't, obviously not saying it in that way, but like, I literally make it a point to, because that is going to be the most income producing thing I can do, is following up with people, booking parties. That's like top, aside from sponsoring, but like I make it a point to do that booking blitz or give myself a 20-minute like power 20, I was going to call it a power hour, but it's, a 20-minute power session of like strict booking. Okay. So again, if you're a leader, you could challenge your team to do it, or you could do it yourself. If you don't have a team, it's not a big deal. Okay. Carry your testers everywhere you go over the next 6 months. Again, it's the smell that sells. Take them with you to kids' sports games over the spring and summer, guys. We're going to have t-ball, football, all that stuff if you got kids who are in that sort of thing. Barbecues, go to church, wherever you're bringing your local coffee shops. So many times I've been in Starbucks and just like, if I have someone who wants to order, I'd be like, yeah, girl, let's get together. I have all the testers. We could totally sit down and smell it. Let's go to Starbucks, whatever. I treat them to coffee. We're sitting there. They're smelling the scents, right? Because it's easier if someone says, hey, I want to place an order, for you to just take their order. But if you're local to them, try and get them in person, because they need to smell those scents. It's the smell that sells. More than likely, you're going to upsell them. They might fall in love with it so much they want to host or even join your team, okay? So get together with them. But so many times I've been like in Starbucks with the testers out and we're smelling them, and other people around are like, oh, hey, what is that? And next thing you know, it's the conversation starter. And that's a new contact that you just made because you were out there with your testers. So take them with you everywhere you go. It really is true when they say it's a smell that sells. Another thing is book multiple parties throughout the month. So again, I don't just rely on one home party, 2 home parties. I try and have Facebook parties. I have basket parties out working for me when I can't work my business. Multiple parties are going to give you more chances of hitting your goals, getting a bigger paycheck, meeting more people, and, just all around better for your business. Okay. So again, if I have a home party going, I'll tell my hostess, hey, I'm also going to set up a Facebook event for you as well. So you can invite your out of state people or whatever. And again, that's more people. Or usually with my home parties, I send them a basket party as well in their hostess pack. And I say, go ahead and collect outside orders, or vice versa. If I send someone a basket party who's out of state, I'll set up a Facebook event for them as well. You know, I want to be able to have multiple parties going throughout the month to be able to hit that, because there's power in numbers, okay? And then the last thing that I have here is, Colleen said it before, is follow up. So make sure over the next 6 months that you are creating a system where you're following up. If you don't already have it, you need a follow-up binder. If you don't know what that is or need guidance on it, I know that we've all done trainings on them before, so just search on your team page. YouTube has lots of ideas and trainings, but a follow-up system, whether it's a binder or you just making notes or whatever, there needs to be a system in place where you are following up with your customers, because like Colleen said, she gets 500 PRV alone in 1 month just from follow-up, okay? So make sure you're following up, not only with orders and parties, okay? If you had someone who is interested in a party, that would be a great way to follow up with them. Hey girl, I know you said you were interested about partying. I want to let you know we actually have a 10% off sale this month. It's a perfect time to host and blah, 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 right? Following up with your host, following up with your orders, and then also following up with anybody who's ever expressed an interest in joining Scentsy. This is the perfect reason this month, this special, $49 to join, enhanced starter kit, is the 1,000 credits toward earning Mexico, is the perfect reason to follow up with somebody about joining this business. So follow up in all aspects, okay? And then you got here, I just added your list of 100. This is just a new revamped version of the list 100. It helps you break it down easier instead of just coming up with 100 people, but you know, your friends, your family, coworkers, business acquaintances, anybody, right? That's your list, so you can start writing them there. I don't know why this quote is moved over. That looks stupid, but, and then I also added, so this one, this is not a part of our incentive, you guys, but I don't know if you guys realize this, but Annual Mentor and Annual Sales is a yearly qualification and award program that Scentsy has that runs from May 1st through April 30th, okay? So basically what it is, aside from the incentive, okay, you basically can get awarded on your sales over the next year from May on, and you're sponsoring people. So what Scentsy does, if you have 30,000 PRV, see this down here, 30,000 PRV by next April, now again, this starts May 1st, you have 30,000 PRV, you get $1,000 bonus cash money in your paycheck come April 31st, or, you know, at the end of April or whatever. So that's annual sales. You get stage recognition at Scentsy Family Reunion. It's like a huge deal. And they give you, like how to break it down. They say weekly PRV would be 625 in order to reach it, and your monthly PRV, you're looking to shoot at least 2,500 a month PRV in order to hit that annual sales. But if you hit that, you get $1,000 cash money, okay? And then Annual Mentor is you have to sponsor at least 14 people over the next year from May 1st on who reach certified or above. So if they reach certified consultant, you will get $25 per consultant who hits certified consultant. And then if they hit lead, you're getting $50 for each person who hits lead consultant during that qualification period. So it's a minimum of a $350 bonus, okay? Which is awesome. So this is just as a side note, like another incentive that you have yearly with Scentsy, which is like a huge deal if you earn it. But the reason why I put it here is because it's going to help you keep track of your recruits who are certifying. Not only are you getting, you know, them certified toward the trip, but every person who certifies during the qualification period of the incentive, it's also going to count toward your annual mentor too. So that's the only reason why I put it there, so you can kind of keep track if you want. If it's too confusing and you don't want to keep it a part of the incentive, you don't need to, but just wanted to let you guys know that all those people certifying and all that PRV you're gaining from May on is going to count towards that, okay? And then that's it. And then the last quote I left you here with was, in the end, we only regret the chances that we didn't take, because it's way easier to, you know, just say I'm not doing something because you don't think you're capable or whatever, when you are absolutely capable in earning a trip like this. It's just a matter of, you know, just prioritizing and making sure yourself set up. So just real quick, every month I front load my calendar. So I will have, like I schedule my personal and family days first, any doctor's appointments, things going on with my kids, like my son's in Cub Scouts or whatever. I will make sure that I highlight those days and block those out, because those are obvious days that I can't party. But anything in between, I highlight in like a particular color, like pink or purple or whatever. And those are my party days. So when I'm going to follow up with people, it's not this random like open calendar that I say, hey, yeah, let me know a time that works for you. If you're waiting for your host to give you a time that's going to work for them, you're never going to get that booked. So what I do is I know my available dates. And when I go to follow up with people, I say, hey girl, interested in hosting a party or whatever. And then I say, I actually have some available dates. I have February, 2nd and the 12th and the 13th. Let me know which works for you. I give them about 2 to 3 dates to choose from. And usually when you're doing that, it makes it easier for them to decide. And if those days don't work, you can always give them more, but you are in control of your calendar. So if you're not front loading and making sure you're set up, it's also going to give you a bird's eye view as to what's going on in your month so that you know how many parties you have and set a goal for yourself. Okay. So again, if you want to earn an incentive and you want to have 2,000 PRV each month, you have to set yourself up with multiple parties throughout the month. So look at your calendar and see exactly, I'm talking guys to the brim, how much parties you can have on your calendar. And I know that might seem scary for some of you, but if you're not willing to push yourself outside your comfort zone and do things that you're not necessarily willing to do, then you're not going to earn the incentive or you're not going to grow your business. You have to be willing. And I guarantee you, when you do it, and you see that you're capable of doing it, it's going to instill your confidence that much more. And then you're only going to take off from there. Okay. So is there anything else that you wanted to say, Colleen? Or Nicole even? Is Nicole Hubbard still on here? Hold on 1 second. I just want to pull something up. If somebody wants to say something, you could just unmute yourself. FYI.
Pat, do you have anything to say?
Or Pat Brennan, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Other than the fact that I'm going to kill all my children today, no.
Word.
Don't worry, all of us.
Word. Yeah.
So,
I just, you guys can do this. I just really just want to breathe some life into you guys to know that, you can do this, all right? You just have to work your business, and the bonus is getting a free trip, like a trip of a lifetime. Scentsy is no joke with their trips. And once you earn this, you're never going to miss another one. I promise. It's like my husband was like, oh my God, is this real? As we check out, he's like, what do we owe? I'm like, we owe nothing. He's like, no, really? I'm like, we owe nothing. I'm telling you, just work your business and this will follow suit. All right.
You guys now, be quiet for 1 minute.
When you promote, right, you're going to get all those points. You're promoting, you're making money, you're earning points, okay? And this month, you guys, get into people. Get into people's ears. Get into people's messenger. Get into their text message, their phones, because they can join for $49 and get 1,000 points towards their trip. I'm jealous, okay? So take advantage of that. Don't sit. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till Friday. Don't wait till you're not busy. Don't wait till things calm down. Don't wait till your kids aren't sick. I mean, life, it happens every day. Things happen every single day, right? But we've got to work our business. We've got to turn the sign on at our storefront. If our business was a storefront, right? And I've said this before, if our business was a storefront, right? Would you be getting... would you be working your business the way you are right now? Okay? Because you have to get up every day and decide, I'm going to get up, I'm going to put my feet on the ground, I'm going to turn my sign on, open for business, right? Because if your customers are going to your store and you're not there day after day after day, they're going to be like, what the hell is this girl? What is she doing? On to the next consultant, right? You've got to make sure that you're running your business every day. And if you have limitations with your time, you can work your business 15 to 20 minutes a day. That's not a joke, but you got to get down to real work, not scrolling on Facebook. It feels like work, but it's not. You got to get down to income producing activities. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. What you know, what we have, the resources and tools we give you are the things that you need to work on. You don't need to get extravagant with all this other crazy stuff. Work your business, the fundamentals, and you'll succeed. Okay. I promise you guys. And if you're having trouble, reach out to your sponsor or your director.
Exactly.
I do have one more thing to say. One thing.
Please.
Let me just shut this. My kids are nuts. I just wanted to tell you guys all, don't think that don't look at it like the only people that earn these incentives are directors and above, because I earned for the last incentive, the Mediterranean cruise, I earned for me and my husband. And when I hit those points, I hit them technically when you counted like my consistency and everything, I hit them before I got my promotion to director. So it is absolutely attainable. And I also want to mention that obviously all the new consultants coming on have an advantage over everybody because they're getting that extra $1,000 points. But also people that essential, certified, lead, star, you guys, it's going to be a lot easier for you guys to promote and get those points. So it literally is probably going to be easier for all of you to get that trip than for me and Patty and Colleen, because we're not going to get any promotion points. We have to work a lot harder. So don't look at it like, yeah, I won't be able to earn that, because that was the mentality I had going in to my last incentive, and I had to switch that quick, because if I did not switch that mentality, I would not have hit it. You have to go into it knowing that you're going to get it. Say, I'm definitely getting it. If you say, I want it, you need to say, I'm getting it, not I'm going to try. So that's it.
Thank you, Pat. Awesome advice. And also, like I said earlier, don't predetermine, because I know it's so easy to be like, well, you know what? I'm just never going to be able to go to Mexico. I have kids. I got people to watch. We all have those things, you guys. This is a freaking sacrifice. Your business is a sacrifice. But I promise you, it is a sacrifice worth living, because if you can get yourself this incentive aside to a point where you have literal, you've built a legacy of a foundation in your business where you're making passive income in your business. I mean, I can't even say I'm there yet, honestly, you guys, but it's just, you have to know what's possible. Like I said, it's a sacrifice day in and day out, but it's a sacrifice worth living. My kids are screaming right now. My husband's down there watching them, probably wrestling them. It sounds like he's wrestling a freaking alligator down there. There's just so much going on where, it's a Sunday. I'm sitting here for over an hour now. I mean, and all of you are too, over an hour now dedicated to our business, taking that little time out because we know it's going to invest and help us. So your business is a sacrifice, and everything you do in your business is going to be a sacrifice. You're going to have to make decisions whether you want to go out and, host a party or find childcare coordination. I'm sure it's not easy for any of us to have to leave our kids with other people, especially if you have kids, or leave our jobs, or be able to take off time if we're working from work. I understand that some things aren't possible, especially when you're working jobs where you have to be there. I worked full time way before Scentsy, so I get it. But when I was working Scentsy, when I first joined Scentsy, I was working full time, and I would, on my lunch break, quick here and there, follow up with somebody while I was on my lunch break, or running to the bathroom, I'd send a quick text. You have to be able to multitask and make your business a priority in one way or another. And like Colleen said, it could just be 15 to 20 minute things, that you're doing here and there, and not just post on Facebook and hope that people see your post. And, it has to be a conscious effort on your part by doing those income producing things, booking parties, sponsoring conversations, booking parties, and following up with people should be the top 3 things that you focus on. And if you don't do anything else all day, as long as you followed up, as long as you try to get some parties booked, and as long as you shared a business opportunity with at least one person that day, your business should grow right away, as long as you are doing those income producing things consistently. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Does anybody have anything that they want to say? Feel free, speak now or forever hold your peace. Colleen? No?
There's a question. Jenna wanted to, she said, can you repeat about the flyer and scent circle and the possibility or the...
sorry, you were pointing that way and there's nobody on your left. So
I'm it's to the right of me.
Can you repeat about the flyer and scent circle? Yeah, so that's just basically in the opportunity packet. Like I said, I don't know if, I'm sure that Colleen has showed you guys what opportunity packets were, or Nicole has. But either way, it's just an opportunity packet. It's information that I send my consultants when they're thinking about joining Scentsy. You know what? I have a document that I'd be more than happy to upload on, whether Nicole's, or if it's Nicole, she probably has it, but Pat or Colleen's page. I can send it to them. They can share it with you guys. But it's just information about joining Scentsy that like I typed up, and I send that with the flyer and a sample and a scent circle as the opportunity packet. And usually I send that within about 1 to 2 days after having that conversation with someone. And I do it very casual. I get on their level and I say, you know, if we're talking about Scentsy and they're like, oh, well, you know, I was thinking about it. I'd say, great. You know what? Let me send you some sample let me send you some information in the meantime with a sample, and then we could just talk about it in a couple of days. Like make it very casual, you know? And then when they get that, after I send it out, I then follow up with them in another 2 or 3 days. And I say, hey girl, did you get that goodie packet that I sent you? I'm following up, because a lot of times people will get their mail, they'll get busy, they won't think about it. And it's not up to them to come to you. So that's why I make sure to follow up. But make sure that you're getting information in their hands. And again, it's the smell that sells. They're going to smell that scent. They're going to fall in love with it. I joined Scentsy because Kristen Ingalls sent me a small sample in the mail that made my whole house smell amazing. And I was like, I need to get on this. Like, this is crazy. And now here I am, you guys, 2 years later, director with Scentsy, earning trips, going, like, it's crazy how my life changed from one tiny little sample. So make sure you guys are getting information and sending samples to all your customers, potential recruits or not, okay? So that's pretty much it. Last words of anything, anybody? It's all right if you don't. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Like I said, we are so excited for you guys. Like, this qualification period, like I said, you got to hustle a little bit, but it's going to be so worth it. You have less, you know, points to reach, but it's as long as you are consistent, you know, not only monthly, but over the next 6 months, because I promise you, in the J months, June, July, you're probably going to get to the burnt out season. You're going to want to go to the beach. Like, there's going to be so many times where you're just don't feel like working your business, but you cannot get burnt out. You have to stay motivated, front load your calendar, make sure you're set up so that you have a game plan each month. You're not going into it blindly, because if you have those parties on your calendar, you're going to have to hold yourself accountable those months. Okay.
Which, hey, you guys, listen to this, which leads us into who is doing our new program for Essential Certified in Leads, because that is going to help you earn your incentive and grow your business. Like, win, 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 win situation. Okay. So if you really want to earn this, we're going to help you right now. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we're so excited for you guys. Thank you so much for getting on the call. We going to Mexico. Woohoo! Viva la Mexico!
Away!